Today, I want to talk about something that's been coming up a lot in my conversations with women who are considering signing up for our 160-hour trauma-informed somatic teacher and coach for women training certification. And this is something that I've been sitting with for quite a long time, something that I've been exploring. And, a lot of questions that are being asked are around the coaching model that I'm teaching within our training certification, and a little bit about the process, like how does it really work and who is it right for and how do you really work with that? Because a lot of women that come into our 160-hour training certification are women who are trained in other modalities. So maybe they are, or even coaching. We've got some coaches that went through different coaching approaches, more kind of traditional coaching education. But a lot of women that come from the wellness industry. You might know that about me, that I've been teaching yoga and mindfulness and then embodiment and somatics for the last 14 or 15 years, and that my background is in social care. And a lot of women that are attracted to this training certification, our training certifications, are women who are also maybe trained in similar modalities to me. So they might be yoga teachers or body workers or wellness practitioners, holistic therapists, healers, but also women who come from the other side of my life. So who are social workers or social care workers, nurses. So women who are trained in other modalities and now they want to take it further. They want to be able to work with their clients, especially female clients, in a much more holistic way. And bring in different modalities, because at the beginning we train in one modality, maybe two modalities, certain approaches, but then as we continue learning, and certainly I know that from my own experience of the last 30 years of training in various different modalities, then we need to start working in a much more integrative way. But we want, many of the women who are drawn to our training certifications are women who really want to make a bigger impact within their clients' lives, within their communities. And so I want to talk a little bit about the coaching method that I teach, and also a little bit about the different stages of healing and also manifestation, manifesting things in your life. So because the one thing that I know for sure is, first, people are drawn to the therapeutic approaches because they want to heal. Certainly, I wanted to heal. The clients that I work with, the practitioners that I work with, we want to heal. We want to live our life with more ease, with more self-acceptance, at maybe a slower pace, the pace and the rhythm that is right for us. Maybe we want to heal some childhood wounds. Maybe we want to find a little bit more connection, practice more self-acceptance and loving kindness, understand and prioritize our needs. So there is something that is not working and we want to fix it, really. We want to change it. That's the kind of drive. But once we've done that a little bit more, like we found more stability, more connection with self, more connection with life itself, more harmony within the relationship with ourselves, with relationship with others, then we are ready to really take the next step of, right, what is our potential really? Now that we've found more ease, more joy, more peace of mind, more stability, what is our potential now? And this is where coaching really comes in. And so that question around what's the difference between therapy and coaching is that the therapy looks more, at that healing side of, especially if there is a lot of trauma, when somebody has got PTSD, when somebody needs to heal those wounds and they're really suffering. So therapy is really good for that. And it looks, in therapy, we can go deeply into, when you work with psychotherapist or therapist or a counselor, you go into those stories, you explore in depth what happened in those times, maybe in your childhood, maybe in your teenage years, maybe, you need to go into the story and into the felt experience of it. And you need to process it, as opposed, and then kind of move into the present moment, as opposed to more coaching approach, whereas you are already kind of stable, you've got support. Yes, you need to change maybe a few things, maybe you need to change some habits, but it's more about the present moment, how the past impacts the present moment, and moving forward and really taking that step forward. So it is about where you are within your healing journey, within your life journey. If there is a lot of unfinished stuff and you need a lot of strong support and a lot of, as I said, going through those stories and exploring what happened to you and really understand it and gain a lot of self-awareness around it, then you need more therapeutic approach. If you are ready, yes, if there is some unfinished business, because it's unfinished for all of us, we are all in the process of healing, of raising self-awareness, of changing things always. I don't know yet anybody who has done all of it and they just that's, in my view, that's what enlightenment would be like. Everything is done, everything is finished, all the loops are closed. I'm not feeling any suffering, any kind of resentments, I'm absolutely enlightened within that. But I am yet to meet a person like that. I think within our human experience, we always are impacted by other people, by our surroundings, by what's happening within our body, by our memories, our past experiences. And so I think we are all a work in progress. And so this is the difference. It's really important to understand the difference between the therapy and the coaching. And for me, when we look at the healing journey, there is a certain path through it. And when we then look at manifesting a greater life and really stepping up and really embracing more and opening more, expanding more, there is a certain process as well. So the coaching method that I teach is called the Soma-Psyche-Soul Coaching Method. And it's a very holistic method. It's about really bringing those different aspects of our experience. So we've got the somatic experience, and that's about what's happening here within the body. So soma means the body in Greek, but not the body as a mechanical body, the heart, the lungs, the digestive system, hormonal system, but as a living, breathing organism that has got its own wisdom, its own inner knowing, its own way of coming back to balance, its own way of being in the world. And so it's so much more than just, the different systems within us and that more mechanical body as perceived by the medical system, for example. And that includes also, the nervous system and physiology and the nervous system. And so really we always want to start with that and to understand it fully, to understand it for ourselves and to understand it when we work as practitioners with our clients. We cannot work effectively with our clients if we don't understand how it works for us. And this is where, the self-awareness comes in. As we move through the process of going through the Soma-Psyche-Soul path, which is the healing path, it's all about self-awareness. It's all about understanding, like, how does it work for me? What are the kind of patterns that I am repeating? How am I responding automatically to life? Like, do I go into, from the nervous system in physiology pattern, do I go repeatedly into the burnout cycle? So going into the stress response, going into sympathetic activation, fight or flight. How does it manifest? And do I go more regularly towards the flight, so moving away? Do I go as a stress response? Do I go more into the fight as fighting with others? Do I fly into rage, or do I go into anxiety and live in that stress response in a constant anxiety? Or maybe within my responses, I automatically go straight past that stress response into the freeze, or maybe into the shutdown. And how does it manifest within my behavior? If I can understand it for myself, how does it feel to be in a safe enough, regulated space? What can I do to be more in that regulated, connected, grounded, compassionate, present space? If I can do that for myself as a practice of self-awareness, as a compassionate, kind practice, to really understand and unpick, if I am my first client, if I am my own research, then I am able to do it so much easier for others. Can you see that? It's like with any other modality and practice, when you come from this sense and understanding that it's actually my quality of presence, my quality of self-awareness that creates the space for the other person. If I am in a more regulated space, the moment somebody walks into the treatment room or into the online room with me, they sense it. We are like tuning forks. We impact each other all the time. If I am not working with my own presence, with my own self-awareness, with my own regulation, every time somebody comes, I'm going to be feeling all over the place because they impacted me so much. And this is one of the things that I hear so much and I experience myself. For many of us who are more highly sensitive, who are more empathic or empaths, we pick up how other people are, and we know how they are. But if we do not have the tools and ways of grounding ourselves, of being fully present and taking care of ourselves in the process of working with others, we're going to be overwhelmed, exhausted, simply because we haven't learned how to take care of ourselves, how not to be overwhelmed. So this is where the burnout comes in. This is where overgiving comes in. This is where people pleasing comes in. We give to others everything, and in a process, we abandon ourselves. And when we abandon ourselves, there is nothing left for us. And so this is especially important if you are more empathic, if you are more highly sensitive, and you're working with others. This is key, absolute key and foundation of everything that you need to learn. You need to learn how to take care of yourself and your needs, how to cultivate and nourish stability in your daily life and in your work. So then you have got good quality of life as well. So then you don't give everything to your clients and then you've got nothing left for your family and your loved ones. So then your health doesn't suffer because you've overgiven so much and you become so overwhelmed and so exhausted. So, and the other part in here is also, to do this work consciously, to be able to have skills consciously of reading somebody how they present when they come in, and to know consciously what then they need and how you can work with them, not to rely on your clients and not to be triggered yourself, but to really create this safe space for somebody. And, that takes us from this somatic awareness to the second kind of part of the coaching model, the psyche, and really doing this deep embodied listening work. Embodied listening for yourself, embodied listening to others, understanding the parts theory. So understanding the internal family systems theory and parts theory, to really be able to listen to yourself, to really understand your needs and how you are in the moment, and then understand how you can meet those needs in an empowered way. And then when you are working with others, equally understand, be able to do the embodied listening with them and teach them that as well, so they can do it for themselves. And this is one of the most empowering things that you can do, to actually teach your students and clients to do it for themselves. You do it for yourself, you teach your clients how to do it, you do it with them, and then you teach them how they can do it on their own. You're giving them life-changing skills and practices that they can use for the rest of their life. First of all, to raise their self-awareness, and then to help with their healing journey, and then to help them to move into the greatest potential in this life. Can you see how this needs to move at a certain kind of pace? So on that first stage, when we work with the clients, it's about really acknowledging where they are at and help them to acknowledge where they are at before they start kind of fixing or changing or mending or doing anything that is quite forceful. When we come from that sense of acceptance, acknowledgement, acceptance, the choices and decisions that we make, the actions that we take are different than when we come from this sense of, I just want to get rid of it, I want to fix it, I want to not be it. That's a sense of not accepting who we are, not accepting the wisdom of our lived experience to date, not bringing self-compassion, not being kind to ourselves, creating more inner war where we're trying to get rid of parts of ourselves, not understanding that each part has got a positive intention behind what it does. Even when even when it presents itself, causes a lot of other problems. I can think about any kind of form of addiction. I'm not talking about only substance or alcohol. I'm talking also about, food or shopping or relationships or any other kind of thing that we feel like we can't live without, that changes and fixes how we feel. And so if you ever felt like there is some cognitive dissonance, meaning you say you want to do something, but you actually do something different, that's different parts having different needs within you, and there is inner conflict. And so resolving that inner conflict by understanding, by that deep embodied listening and understanding what's their intention behind each part, what are the unmet needs of those parts, can really resolve that conflict. And when we resolve that conflict, we can then move forward. So, you know, it's so important. There is so much wisdom within that, so much wisdom within us that we are not acknowledging. And so when we move from somatic kind of wisdom to the psyche and the wisdom within the psyche and different parts and different beliefs about who we are and what we are capable of, and our sense of identity, how we perceive ourselves, and we integrate those two: the understanding of the nervous system, the understanding of our physiology, the understanding of our physical needs, with this understanding of the psyche, of different parts of our identity, of our beliefs, and our mindset, how we think, the stories we tell ourselves. Something really amazing can happen here, because there is more integration and there is such wisdom that we connect with. And then there is the last part of the coaching method, of the Soma-Psyche-Soul Coaching Method, and that is the soul. And that is the connection, or rather embodiment, of life itself, which is we are embodiment of life. We are life. We are not part of life. We are life manifesting itself through us, as us. And so when we connect with the soul, then we start looking at things like our soul purpose, our soul calling in this life. What are the most important things? What are our priorities? What is the message that we really need to share as practitioners, as humans? What is the most important thing that we can do through our work and through our life? And when we connect with that, we can step into our highest self, into our highest purpose. We can really connect and be able to listen to the inspiration. So inspiration, comes from the word inspired, in spirit, coming from the life itself, however you call it, the universe, the source, the divine, or even God, the life itself. When we bring that, when we connect with that, again, we perceive ourselves, we know we are a different being, a being that is life manifesting itself and the potential that we have. The challenge in here is that what I see many people do is they try to come through the soul, through the spiritual practices, without doing the other two parts of the work, without really understanding their physiology and their nervous system and their needs, without understanding different parts of themselves and their identity and their mindset. They try to come through that, through the soul. They try to connect with the greatest potential, and yet they are being dragged down by their own physiology, by their own beliefs, by their own identity, by their own reactivity. And so the healing process, like if you just skip to the soul, and I've seen so many people try to do that, you keep self-sabotaging yourself. So this is how you know that there is something that you need to pay attention to on the soma and the psyche level. If you self-sabotage, you keep burning out, you keep crashing, you keep feeling exhausted, you've got a lot of self-doubts, then you need to pay attention to these other two parts of this other two areas of your experience. But equally, I see a lot of people doing this kind of somatic work and maybe not enough, and somatic work and soul work, but not enough around their identity, around their mindset, about different parts and their needs and resolving the inner conflict that they feel. So one of the things that we do in our training certification is we explore those three different areas of our experience, and we see where are our strengths, which areas are we really putting a lot of work into, and we have done, and maybe healed a lot of different things, but which areas do we kind of reject, sometimes consciously, sometimes often unconsciously. And then really doing work around those areas. So we bring the harmony into the soma, psyche, and soul. So we really start embracing the fullness of our experience. And this is what we do with the clients as well. We teach them practices, we help them raise self-awareness and create different experience. So I said at the beginning that there is a kind of a path to healing. And for me, that path is really, we start with the somatic area. We learn about the nervous system, we learn about the physiology, we learn about the habits that we do as a self-care. We learn how to understand what's going on for us. We learn the somatic practices for nervous system regulation, so somatic movement, somatic meditation, and other practices. And then on that we build the psyche. So we look at the parts work, we look at the identity, we look at the mindset, and then an embodied listening, and then we go into soul, into our calling, into our vision, into our unique expression, into expansion, into really opening ourselves to being life, our soul calling, our purpose, our greatest potential. So that's the healing journey. And then once we've done that, then we can come back into the manifesting journey, which is the journey of, this is my soul calling. This is what I want to manifest. This is what I love. This is the most important thing. Looking at the psyche, are there any beliefs that I need to work with? Who am I? What's my identity as I'm doing it? Who do I need to become in order to really create it in the reality of my life? Looking at the parts that maybe there is some inner conflict, and then we bring it into our somatic experience, which means, like, what are the action steps? How do I need to act? How is this woman who I become is acting? So any habits that would support that, any choices and decisions that I would make, any action steps, and how do I embody it fully? Can you see, it takes you on a journey. The journey of healing is the Soma-Psyche-Soul, the journey of, and once you've done that, you are much clearer channel to do the manifestation journey, which is the soul calling, soul, psyche, identity, and mindset, and soma embodiment. So for me, this is really, really important that we understand that if you want to manifest your greatest life, it's not about doing a vision board. And it's not enough to do that vision board, I'd rather say. And it's not enough just to do the mindset and affirmations. There are other parts that need to really be present. So in order to manifest, you need to have a more regulated nervous system. So you have got more capacity. So you are a more open channel to receive abundance, to receive prosperity, to receive more clients, to receive more opportunities. So you need to have more capacity to be with it, to open to it. So, and also, if you want to manifest your life, your greatest life, it has to be aligned with your soul. So there is a lot of different things in here, and everything really is based on that foundation of awareness and self-compassion. Awareness and self-compassion that lead to self-trust, not abandoning yourself, the inside out felt experience of connection, of love, of support, and understanding that you are life manifesting itself in this life, in this moment. Therefore, your potential is here if you are a clearer channel to really receive it. Because you can ask and ask and ask, but are you able to receive it? Are you able to receive it? So this is the kind of stuff that we do in our training certification, and time plays a big part of it, because it is about understanding what it is about. So that knowledge piece, understanding the nervous system, understanding the physiology, understanding how to read somebody's body language, how to read your own language, how to understand your needs, the somatic checking in, the 3-step somatic self-compassion process, all of that, the knowledge, how to do it, to understand, so the mind understands, the raising of the awareness of the mind level. I know how it works. I understand it on the mind level. And you can do it through books. You can do it through webinars. You can do it through here, me talking about this. But then there is a next step that you need to take, which is practice. Learning the practices that help you experience it in your body. Like pendulation, like this is what it feels like in my body when I'm feeling safe enough. This is how it feels in my body when I'm not feeling safe. And alternating within that. Safe enough, not safe enough. Safe enough, not safe enough. This is how my body say yes to something, to an opportunity, to a relationship, to whatever. And this is how my body says no. This is how it says yes. This is how it says no or no more. This is how it feels when I am regulated. My nervous system is regulated. This is how my nervous system is not regulated. Can you see? We need to have those points of reference. We need to really experience it through the body, not just through the mind. So the mind needs to understand there is the theories, the concepts. This is how it works. I need to understand it through the mind. So it's a conscious process. Then there are practices that help us to really experience it through our felt experience, through our body. And we need to do it again and again and again. So it becomes very familiar. So it becomes more habitual. So it becomes really accessible to us with a lot of ease. And then it becomes an embodied experience. The time plays a big part in here. In our society of wanting to have it right here, right now, right here, right now, now, a shortcut, it doesn't work. It does not become an embodied experience, an embodied wisdom. Only with time and repetition and exploration, we raise our awareness and we integrate it within our body, our wholeness of experience, and our somatic experience, the wholeness of us, the Soma-Psyche-Soul. That's what embodiment is. Awareness is here on those two other layers, on the mind level, on the practice level. That's the awareness, raising of an awareness, raising of an awareness. And then it becomes an embodied experience. Because, people talk about embodiment as if it was something different. We are always embodied. That the question in here is, what are you embodying? Are you embodying anxiety and fear? Are you embodying shutdown? Are you embodying the burnout cycle? Are you embodying frustration or rage? Are you, what are you embodying? Or are you embodying the sense of stability, the sense of presence, the sense of deep inner compassionate connection with yourself and others, a sense of curiosity, a sense of expansion? What are you embodying? And with this process and the Soma-Psyche-Soul Coaching Method, we can learn to embody more stability. We can learn to embody more presence. We can learn to embody love and joy and peace. And ultimately, I know that this is why we are all doing this kind of practices. This is what ultimately each one of us is searching for: the love, joy, and peace. And everything else, creating this abundant life through manifestation, through richness of experience, through richness of impact, is the expression of the love, joy, and peace. So I'd like you to just check in with yourself whether you relate, whether that's something that resonates, whether that's the kind of journey and the kind of learning and process that you would find helpful for yourself, first of all, and then working with your clients. And if that's the case, I'd like to invite you to reach out. Let's connect and come and join our community, our training community of women who are deeply compassionate, who really want to create big impact within their communities and societies and the world, and who want to take care of themselves in the process of doing it as well. Because ultimately, it's all about learning, growing, healing, and expressing our highest potential within this life, living with more love, joy, and ease, and peace, ease. So I hope that resonated. I'm looking forward to connecting with you. I hope we will get an opportunity to talk. Reach out to me if you've got any questions about our 160-hour trauma-informed somatic teacher and coach for women training certification. And I look forward to connecting with you more soon. Take care for now.